Here we are, the Groove Junction, another episode of the Groove Junction, episode 63, 63 episodes so far. Hello, welcome to the Groove Junction. Thank you ever so much for joining us today, and thanks for your support. As always, we are the DJs podcast, talking all things DJ and everything in between as well. And you know, you can watch us on all your podcast providers, including Spotify and YouTube, and we are kindly supported by Wolf Mix as well. Now, got a nice little surprise for you this afternoon. Okay, today I have a co-host and guest. Now, this guy is a young guy. He's up and coming. We had him on the show about a year ago, full of potential, full of drive. The guy is lovely, a lovely guy. Please welcome my co-host for this week, Josh Ford, JF Discos. Hey,
Evening, mate.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
All good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. Apart from a slight case of the old man flu, to be fair. But
oh, God.
Man flu is a thing, Josh. It is a thing, yeah. I'm telling you, right?
You're powering on, though.
Mate, I'm ploughing through it. So, Josh, thank you for stepping in this evening. I'll say this evening. We could be listening to it any time, but thank you for stepping in and co-hosting the Groove Junction with me today. We are going to get into a little bit more of what you've been up to in the last year or so. All right, we're going to get into that. But before we do that, as always, we are going to do the rundown. And the rundown is sponsored by the Pro Mobile magazine.
The Groove Junction Rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile magazine. The magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews, they feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code, GroovePMSUB, for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile magazine. So, Josh, I don't normally get to do this. Normally, I always go first. So, tell me, Josh, what you been up to?
Over the last sort of week, I've been very busy. So from university to DJing, creating reviews, and coaching football. So it's been a madness, as every week is.
Pretty full on.
Yeah.
Right. So tell me about your gigs. What gigs have you had this week?
This weekend, I had an 7th birthday party on Sunday. Saturday wasn't too bad. We just had a little garden party, so that was quite a chilled one. But like Sunday mornings, I coach football. Thursday and Friday evenings, I coach football, and then university all the rest of the week. So it's pretty full on.
Yeah. So when do you sleep? Do you sleep?
A little bit now and again.
Get a little bit in there. I love that. Wicked.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to talk a little bit more about like your events and everything in a little while. But obviously what I've done this week, we touched on it last week about Halloween. Halloween seems to be getting really, really busy. Are you finding this, Josh? Are you finding that Halloween's getting busy for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally, all my parties this week have been like Halloween themed. So I had one on Wednesday, which was great. It was at a private school. They had the selfie pod. There's about 80 kids there. They were very, first time I've ever been there, and they were very sort of reserved at the start, but they soon warmed up and they started dancing and everything. So that was really good. Thursday, I did two discos back to back on Thursday at a local school. Again, all Halloween themes. I've got these big, like 8-foot, 10-foot, 12-foot inflatable Halloween stuff. So they were all out as well. Friday, that was another double school disco as well, 2 back to back there. Again, all the Halloween stuff out, which was really good. And then Saturday, I did a 5th birthday all the way about an hour's drive away. That was really good. And then on Saturday evening, I did an 18th, which was a 1 o'clock finish. Man, I don't like the 1 o'clock finishes, Josh. I won't lie to you, mate.
No, neither do
What
I.
about you? Do you do many of them?
Nah,
Nah, I
no,
try not to, but this
nah,
was an
yeah,
18th, so I thought better go. You know,
yeah.
brilliant. Right, very quick rundown this week. As always, thank you ever so much, Pro Mobile Magazine. Right, Josh, the floor is yours, my man. So let's have a little chat, Josh. I mean, obviously you was on the Groove Junction just over a year ago now, and
Yeah.
I don't even think you had a driver's license back then, did you?
No, I didn't. No.
So I know that you were. I know you have got a driver's license because I think I saw you came down to the JBL thing, didn't you, with Jay?
Yes.
And you come down
yeah,
to
that was a great day.
yes. That was good, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it. Actually, I'm sort of in the market for looking for some battery operated speakers myself.
Oh, yeah.
So but we'll come to that in a little while. So Josh, what have you been up to like in the last year? Since you was last here, obviously you've got your driver's license now. You've touched on university, which is pretty cool. Congratulations for that one. But what else here within the DJ industry and your business? What have you been up to in the last year?
Within the last year, we've grown again as a business. Once again, it's our busiest year since we started. Each year has grown bigger and bigger. We've done a lot of weddings this year. I couldn't tell you how many off the top of my head. Definitely the most we've done in a year. School proms as well in the summer months. Absolutely love school proms. The vibes they
Love
bring,
them.
the energy.
Yeah, me too.
It's always a great event.
Absolutely.
And then we've still done the children's parties as well that we did when we first started out. So we carried them on, and they're another great event. Although they're not as long, they're kind of shorter in the afternoon, but I still find the kids are always great. There's always that great energy, great vibe from those people. So I absolutely love doing them as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you have in the past year, obviously you've done your weddings, you've done your school proms, and you've done your other parties. Has there been like a one particular party booking that you've like stands out to you and just get, oh yeah, that was such a good event, or what, or that was probably the worst one I've ever done. Have you heard anything like that in the past year?
It's a hard one. I mean, given our job, I think it's what you put into it. So if you go into every event giving 100%, giving as much energy as you can, then you're going to come out of enjoying every event. It's just about finding ways to work. If you've got a smaller crowd, it's going to be harder to get them up, generally speaking. And I did an 18th not so long ago, and I'm playing the bangers and I'm thinking, what's going to get them up? What's going to get them up? And one of them came over and said, can we play musical chairs? And I had a little joke with them. Yeah, I had a little joke with them. I was like, wow, at an 18th, we're going to play musical chairs. I was like, okay, then let's do it. And they absolutely loved it. And they were all up for it. All of them playing musical chairs, really competitive game. And it was brilliant.
Really?
Yeah.
I like what you've done there. You've sort of what's going to get them going. And then all of a sudden it's like one of those childhood games that, obviously these 18-year-olds like relate to. And you've turned the party around because you were, by the sounds of it, no one was really sort of interacting with you because you're thinking, what's going to get them up? And then all of a sudden, I would never think of doing musical chairs at an 18th birthday. I won't lie.
No.
But it worked.
No,
clearly.
Yeah, and it was a Sunday evening, so obviously everyone's got things for the week ahead. No alcohol at this particular party, so you've got a group of 18-year-olds there who, unless they've got something to get a little bit tipsy on, or they know they've not got to get up at 7 o'clock the next morning, then it's going to be a hard one to get going. So it's about discovering those different ways.
I've got to get my head around this. I've got to back up a little bit. So an 18th birthday party with no alcohol on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
then they played musical chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being a booking that would stick in my mind, to be fair. Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
But the thing is, John, you by the sounds of it, you turned the party round. It sounds like you did. And you're right, if you bring the energy into the party, and you go in there like 100%, 110%, you give it all you've got. And one of the things that I say when I do my children's parties is if they see that the DJ is standing there bored out of his box, number one, you're not very approachable for a start if you're looking miserable and just
No,
pushing buttons, But
always.
if you engage with them, people will sort of like say, "Oh my God, yeah, look, oh great, let's get on the dance floor, let's have." And I won't lie, there is one song that always seems to work, and I hate the song, to be fair. I can't stand the song "Candy" by Cameo. It don't matter what
Oh
party you
yeah.
go to, it works, So, no, I'm pleased for that. Pleased for that. Any other sort of like ones that sort of stick in your mind in the past year or so?
I'd say the year 11 proms. I always love doing them. You've got 200 to 250 kids
Mhm.
on a dance floor. Dance floor's packed everywhere you look. There's people dancing. That's a great feel. That
Yeah,
really is a great
yeah.
environment.
And the thing is, with one of the things with proms as well is that the ones that I do, they've had 2 hours sitting down having dinner. Is that the same for
Yeah,
you? They have a
yeah,
dinner
yeah,
and then they are ready to go. 10 o'clock, they are ready to go, or 9 o'clock, or whatever it is. They're ready to
yeah.
go and they're ready to party. So but it's straight off the bat. You're going straight in. Have you got a song this year that you sort of kicked your proms off with? Be interesting.
That's a great question.
We
Not
can
really off the top
circle
of my
back to
head.
it.
Yeah, I think what I do, I just look at the crowd, and
Yeah,
I've got those 2 hours, and I'll be playing songs that I think they'll like to try and kind of entice them. Is their head bopping? Are they moving a little bit? Are they jigging in their seats? And it gives you a good indication of what's going to go down well. So
yeah,
this particular event, there was someone there, and I could hear her sitting close. She was going to her friends, "Why is he playing this now? We could dance to this." And I said to the other person that was helping me out, I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about that. I know what they're going to dance to." I was like, "If they could
yeah,
dance to that, I know what they're going to dance to now." I said, "It's all about, you don't want to give them boring music while they're sitting down eating at their tables. You want them to be ready to get up. You want them to be going to move."
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
You don't
then
want
I
it to
kind of
like you don't
know,
want it
bang.
like you don't want it like wedding breakfast sort of
Yeah, yeah,
background
yeah,
music. You want it, and what you're saying there, Josh, as well, is that you're constantly reading the room. Are they head bopping? Are they foot tapping? You're listening into little conversations that are going off on the side. So you are read, and I think that is key one of the key skills of DJs is to read the room. You know,
yeah,
and I think why I say that as well is because you don't 9 times out of 10, you don't know anybody in that room. You are just the
exactly. Yeah,
DJ that has been booked. So you don't know what music they like. So you put a little bit of this on, you put a little bit of it, and you see what the reaction is. Um, but would you say, Josh, in the past year, that that would be one of your skills that you've kind of um, mastered, if you like, in the past year? Because I know I never used to read the room. I had a
yeah,
playlist and I'd play it, and if I didn't like it, well, tough, But that was years ago. That's how it was. Yeah, that's how I
yeah,
was years ago. And then I realised, you know what, I'm going to get more bookings, you know, if I do it correctly. If I do what they want. So, do you think that reading the room in the past year, is there something that like helped? Obviously you've learnt yourself sort of like reading the room in the past year. Would you say that's a fair comment to make?
yeah. 100%. It's something I've sort of mastered. I wouldn't say mastered, because it's a skill that you're always going to develop further. You're always going to learn more. So
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
the DJs that have been doing it for 30, 40 years, they're going to play a song and think of 7, 8 songs that will go well with this song. Whereas I'll probably think of 3 or 4. So I know over
Yeah,
time it's going to get better and better and better the more you do it. But
exactly.
I'm definitely a DJ that I will never touch a pre-mixed set of music. Never. Not even from the get-go. Before I've even started and I'm playing like test music, that's all being mixed by me all the way through. Yeah, never a mix.
Very good. See, I have to admit, I have cheated in the past with using pre-mix stuff from like Grandmaster or Master Mix or whatever. It the way I look at it, it's like I could be standing behind the controller for 2 hours, like, playing music, or I could just play a pre-mix. I think it all depends. I don't always do it, but
Yeah,
I've got that tool in my arsenal should I need it. Which you
yeah,
talking about your music and your playing, where you do kids parties, you do proms, you do weddings, so you do a very large scope of music. You know, I mean, I would say, you know, from the 50s, 60s, right the way through to modern day and everything in between. Would that be a fair comment?
Yep.
Have you played around with any different genres that you're not so comfortable with, maybe, if that makes sense?
All
So
the time.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah. Give us an
Yeah,
idea. Give
yeah.
us an idea. Give us an example there, Josh.
Well, anything. I say to my clients, look, I'm an open format DJ. Whatever you want, I can pretty much mix it. They'll look at me and go, what? And I'll go, yeah, it's my skill set. I can do it. I'll hear the song. I can mix things into it. So I've done Italian weddings. They've asked me for Italian music. I've gone, yep, fine. If you can give me a few songs that you like, I can mix them in no matter what kind of thing. As well, Bhangra, Asian music. I can mix that really, really well now after doing it quite a few times, mixing it in with R&B, stuff like that. And it kind of gets that Asian community going. So it's all kind of just learning and developing your skills. The more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Absolutely, yeah. That's man flu knocking at the door. That is, Joff. Oh, that. I'll edit that out. So, Josh, going back to, again, sticking with the music side of things, I've seen quite a few of your videos on your TikTok channel, and you've had a little play and everything with stems, haven't you?
Yes.
Do you use stems at gigs?
Yes, all the time.
And
I love 'em.
how do you love them? Right, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of really answered my question, because what platform are you on? Were you using?
I'm on Engine DJ. So it's all got to be pre-analysed.
So you're the same as, so you're pre-computing everything beforehand.
Yeah.
And how do you find that with Engine DJ? How do you find that? Because I'm on it. I'm on the Prime 4 Plus, and I believe you've got the same, haven't you? Prime 4 Plus, and I think you've got the Go as
I've got
well.
a Prime 4 and the SC Live 4.
So
the smaller one. Yeah.
How do you decide what songs you're going to pre-compute the stems? How do you do it? Because I've got half a dozen that I know I want to drop the beat out of that. I want to drop the vocal on that, and that's kind of it, really. Because you can't do it with Engine. You can't do it on the fly, can you? Like with VDJ or anything like that. So how do you have you pre-computed everything?
No. So most common songs that I play regularly, so like Party Rock Anthem, Starships, Nicki Minaj, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then 90s, couple of 80s, some 70s that I play a lot. But the way I look at it normally is 60s, 50s, 60s. If I start messing around with those songs, that demographic of people are probably not going to be very happy, because they remember those songs as they were. They like those songs as they were. If I start putting a house beat behind a Beatles track, then they're not going to be very happy.
No, I get that.
So, that's kind of how I looked at it.
Yeah, and it's funny because obviously you know on the silent disco circuit that we don't play any remixes or edits or anything. We play the original track as it was. So if you're going to an 80s night, like you've just said, you know, I don't want to hear, you know, a beat behind, you know, Careless Whisper. I want to hear Careless Whispers as Careless Whisper was, you know. So I get what you're saying. We're at a wedding where you've got a whole range of different ages, you know, those people that like the 60s and the 70s, they want to remember how it was when they listened to it back then.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. And I think that's there's a lot of DJs that will play the remixes and the edits and this, that, and the other if they're in a club. And I don't see a problem with that if it's in the club. But then if you are at a wedding or a family event, I do think that you should try and stick to the original as best you can.
Yeah.
So I think I would agree with that one. So we was talking about stems and everything. Now, Josh, earlier on you were saying to me off air that you've started doing quite a bit of work for different charities. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a sponsorship work I've been doing recently. So local football team to me needed a coach. I was already coaching football for the club. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I went in and suddenly So the football team season's coming closer and closer and closer, and they've not found a sponsor. So these poor boys have not got a kit to wear. So I've said, right, look, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay for all their kits and sponsor them so they've got something to wear and unite. And out of that, it kind of got my brain thinking a bit of how sport kind of ties in with DJing. So obviously, when you're DJing, you're bringing people a great time. They're enjoying it. They're all on the dance floor. It brings people together. And when you think about sports, it kind of works in the same way. You're bringing a load of children together into a team. So they're playing together. They're having enjoyment out of it. So it kind of works in the same way. I've kind of seen they link hand in hand. And then there was a local rugby festival that said, look, they put out a thing, we're looking for a DJ, unpaid, for our rugby festival day, to give a bit of atmosphere to the club, for the boys, all the volunteers that come out and do it every week. And I thought, you know what, same concept. I'll go and do it for them, do it for free, give everyone a great afternoon and kind of give them the chance to do that, do what they love.
You know what? I mean, hats off to you, man. I tip my hat to you today. I mean, sponsoring a football team and buying all their kits and everything is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, for the people that are listening to the podcast, and so we're in over 30 countries across the globe. For the people that are listening, Josh, can you just remind everybody how old you actually are?
So I'm 18.
So 18 years old, he's still in university as well. He's doing his degrees. He's coaching footballs. He's running a business. He's sponsoring a football team. I mean, the saying goes, Josh, not all superheroes wear capes. Do you know what I mean? I think you are right up there, my friend. You really are. I mean, hats off to you, man. That is so good to hear that you're giving something back. You are giving something back, you know, with the rugby club. You know, a lot of people give it, I ain't doing it for free. You know, you come along and give it, yep, they're all volunteers. They're all helping out week by week, standing on a cold, wet pitch. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that is brilliant,
exactly.
mate.
That's what it is because, like you've got to give back to the people that have given to you. So my first ever gig was a charity night for cancer. I did it for free. It gave me a break. It was my first ever event, got me out there. I was like, great, now I've done a gig, now I can do a second one. And it's giving back to the community that give to you. So for me, I get a lot of recommendations on Facebook. People like, JF Discos. And for me, it's my way of giving something back to them and giving back to the local community around us.
I'm all for that. I love that. Absolutely love that. I think it's amazing. I really do. I mean, would you say that with the charity stuff, is there anything that you would do? Would you do different for different charities? Would you do, or would you just go, look, I'll do it for nothing. This is what you're going to get. Bosh. You know, is there anything?
Yeah. So
do you treat them all the same sort of thing?
We've done a few different things. So a lot of the time it is I've gone and DJ'd for nothing. So I've done for cancer research. I've done for Stroke UK. And then we've had kind of other people that have asked and I've donated, say, a free kids party or stuff like that as like charity donation. But yeah, mostly it is going out and DJ and saying, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. But it is kind of catering for everyone as well, because obviously it's got my time then, wear and tear on the equipment. So obviously we can't do everything, but what we can do, we will. And especially within like sports and providing children opportunities to have that level of enjoyment, it's definitely somewhere we want to go.
Mate, I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. Now we're gonna go into a break in a minute, Josh. But before we do, is there anything in the past year that you have stopped doing because it didn't work? You weren't happy with it, and you thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. Is there anything in the past year? Okay,
I can't say no.
No, brilliant. No, I mean, the thing is, there are certain things that, you know, people go, you know, sort of like say, oh, I use these lights or I use this machine or this was my paperwork process or whatever, and people change it. But in the last year, I mean, I can see that your company has escalated. I can see by the way you're talking to me that you've learned a lot of stuff but you know that you're not the master at reading the room. You know that because you know it's a skill that is ever growing. And the fact that you're only 18 years old and you're recognizing all of these things is amazing, absolutely amazing. Listen, guys, we're going to listen to talk to Josh a little bit more right after the break. You know what, Josh? Now I normally do after the break, right? I normally do it, but as you're the co-host, I'm going to let you do the after the break, right? Do you know how to do after the break?
No, go on, show me how you do it.
Right answer,
Go on.
Josh. You guys, I'll see
Go on,
you
professional.
after the break. Right, welcome back, everyone. Nice quick break there. Love a break. Josh, thanks for coming back. I was worried that you wasn't going to come back after the break. So, Josh, we've spoken about what you've been up to in the last year, and clearly you have grown. Your company, your own skills have grown over the last year. Now, do you have any goals for the next year?
I'd say grow more.
Grow
You can
more?
never be too big. You can never be too
Okay.
big. But there's getting that balance at the same time of I want to do more. I've also not got the time to do more, but I want to do more. And I don't want to risk palming that work to someone else to do more, that they'll ruin my reputation if something goes wrong.
See, that was another thing I was going to ask you, Josh. Obviously, you do all of your work. The majority of it is all you on your own. Do you give out parties? If someone rings up and says, "Oh, I'm already booked," do you give someone a party that will go out? So kind of operate as a multi-op, but give it to them and go out under your name. Do you do that at all? No. I used to, but now I've kind of said, you know what? I can't do the gig. I'm already booked.
Yeah.
Give this guy a call. You deal with it because I've got my own stuff to deal with this party on my own. I don't want to be dealing with your stuff. And then if that DJ doesn't turn up, it's on my head.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
my name that's being dragged through. So, and by the sounds of it, you've got a fantastic name for yourself up because you're in Bedfordshire, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So you sounds like you've got a fantastic name. So you don't want to risk that. Does your dad still come out with you?
Not as much, to be fair, anymore. I think he's missing it.
You don't need him to drive.
Yeah, I've got a few young lads, so I pick them up on the way. They come out with me, do all the lifting.
You've got it made, mate. You've got it made.
Yeah.
Love that. Over the past year, is there anything you could turn around and say to you know what, I've learned this. I've learned, I know we're kind of backtracking a little bit on the first part of the episode, but is there any lessons that you could you sort of say to yourself, yeah, you know what, actually, yeah, a lesson learned there. Either I like that and I'm going to do it again, or I won't be doing that again as a lesson learned. Anything that's sticking in your mind for that at all?
I've shadowed a lot of DJs over the space of the year because the way I look at it is you can never be the best, but you can grow your ability from other people. And that's ranging from I've gone out and watched the top range wedding DJs and I've helped them, and I've been out and watched pub DJs and I've seen how they work and the difference between them both. And I've taken the best parts from here, the best parts from here, put them together. I've watched, okay, that's rubbish. I don't like that. It didn't work. I'm not going to use that. And the same at the top end. I've realized I actually do more at a wedding than some of the big names I've seen. But I'm going to keep doing more. I don't necessarily need to get the money they're charging, but I'm going to keep doing it because that's the level of professionalism I want, is to be up there.
Okay. So you say that you've been shadowing other DJs. Are you finding that they're quite willing to part with information, tips and tricks and things like that? Or are they just showing you the bare basics and like you're picking up on the other stuff yourself? Or are they quite willingly sharing information with you type thing?
No, they're pretty willing to share things, which is always great. And I'll share things in return with them that I've kind of figured out. And yeah, no,
totally agree. I think that in order for our industry to grow, I think that if you've got something, a skill or a bit of advice or something, I think it needs to be shared.
Yeah.
Because as you say, you're going to grow. You've taken, you've looked at two different DJs, one as a wedding DJ right at the top here charging XYZ, and then you've got the pub DJ who does it every Friday night, and he's getting like a quarter of the money here. But what you've done is you've taken out the best bits of both. Like, I really like that. Really like that. I'm going to incorporate that into that. And
Yeah.
you've made a nice, happy. I like that, Josh. I mean, it's, yeah, forward thinking with like your own progression, if you like. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So, Josh, I mean, if I was starting off DJing and I was at the point where you was a year ago when you first come onto the Groove Junction, what advice do you think you'd give me?
Push yourself from your comfort zone. And I remember previous to that, before a year ago, when I first started out, I had my first business cards made, and it said children's and school discos, children's parties and school discos. And I thought, lovely, that's what I'll do to start with. I'll do school discos, children's parties, easy to do, no drunk adults. I can do them on my own, hassle-free kind of thing, and it'll build me. And I was completely wrong to limit myself to that, because then my first gig wasn't even a children's party or a school disco. So all those 200 business cards I had printed, scrapped them off because they were no good. I realised straight away, I don't want to be locked in doing these small events. I could be doing big high-end weddings, earning lots of money, and I'm locked in. I've just locked myself out of all of them to do one school disco a term, or however many the school has.
Mhm.
So I realised straight away that's got to go, and you can't limit yourself to what you want to do. And it's the same with everything. Can you do an Asian party? Can you do an Italian party? And a lot of people say, no, I'll send you to an Asian DJ. Whereas I'm like, of course I can. If you tell me what music you want, I'll do the research to look into what needs to play in, and how to mix it, all that kind of thing. And that's how you grow. So I think definitely don't lock yourself out of your potential.
Yeah. So as you say, you push yourself out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never going to
And
progress. Yeah, I like that actually, because I mean, like, there are times when I've had people and they'll say, "Oh, we just want a whole night of Northern Soul," and I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what, that's kind of really out of my remit. And I will admit I am one of those DJs that give it. You know what, I don't want to be that DJ that's going to ruin it because they want a whole night of Northern Soul. Now, Northern Soul is such a broad genre. Everything falls in. You know, Cat Stevens, Michael Jackson, they all fall into that Northern Soul like bracket. But I have passed it on and said, look, they will give you a great party. I will only give you a little bit of a good party because I only know a little bit of what you want. But you're pushing yourself out of the bed. I'll do an Asian wedding. Yeah, no problem. Tell me what you want. Crack on. I'll do the research. I don't know how you fit the research in because you're quite a busy man with university, football, and DJing as well. Do you have a lot of time
Definitely.
to prep for your gigs?
No, not a lot of time. I mean, so for the kids' party on Sunday, they had a photo booth. I was setting the photo booth details up on the iPads at 11:30 Saturday evening.
11:30 Saturday evening. And what time
Yeah.
was the party?
So I think the party had to be there at 1:00, but I knew 1:00 on the Sunday afternoon, but I knew I was coaching football first thing in the morning. So I didn't have the time to do it
You
then.
had no time to do it. 11:30 at night. And I think this goes back to something else we've spoken about on the Groove Junction. Where you go, how come are you charging X, Y, Z and you only stand there pushing buttons for 4 hours? And it's like, well, actually, we're here an hour before, we're here an hour after, and then it's all the prep in the week as well that goes on. And I don't think people realise exactly how much is involved with what we do, whether it be a 2-hour children's party or whether it be a 6-hour all-day wedding, you know. And I think that this is where we need to kind of educate our customers in the form of like the social media videos, TikTok, Facebook and things like that. So they can see, well, actually, I mean, TJ, Funky T, does many a gig vlog of where he starts driving up there, stopping at the services, this, that and the other. And it gives you a great insight into what we do as DJs. It isn't just
Definitely.
a case of like popping a couple of buttons as through the day and everything. So I see what you're saying. I do. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, Jay, I mean, you don't do a lot of prep. So when you go to a gig and you haven't been to that venue before, do you just take your standard amount of gear, what you're going to take for like a normal kids party, or do you think, well, I don't know how, but I'm going to take more, or I'm going to take less? So how do you work that?
Well, I say I don't do a lot of prep as in going to the venues and stuff, but I do a lot at home. So even I'll research the venues, I'll look for photos, I'll look for when other DJs have been there, to kind of see the room, the size of the room, stuff like that. The amount of prep I do on the kit so that every event looks different is insane. If you look through my social media page, you look at the party I did on Sunday and last week, every setup will look slightly different because I've tweaked something here, there. And the time
That's
it takes to
interesting.
think of that, to think of what to do, to change all the clamps on all the lights, to pull different lights out of boxes from back of units off shelves, just so it looks different, even particularly on social media, because it's not the same clients every week. Just to keep that high level of, okay, they don't know what I'm going to turn up with. They don't know. They're not thinking, oh, it's the same lights you bought last time. So for some of the schools, I'll do, say, 10 discos a year. They don't want me turning up with the same lights every time. So I'll turn up with different things each year, different color cloths, different lights, different speakers, everything to make it different and unique. So they don't know what they're going to walk into. When those kids walk into that school hall, it looks different every time.
I love that. I mean, you know, would it be fair to say that obviously your storage unit is a bit like an Aladdin's cave of DJ equipment? Have you got a lot of gear?
Massive. Yeah.
So for like myself, I mean, I've got a lock up. It hasn't got a lot of gear in there. I've got a black setup and I've got a white setup. I haven't got many moving heads or different lights. My setup predominantly is the same every single time, whether it be a kid's party. Obviously, weddings are slightly different, but my setup is generally the same sort of thing. But I think I might have to come up to yours, Josh, and have a look at your. It sounds like Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. You know, it sounds like you've got everything there. Now, Josh, we're kind of sticking with equipment. You last time we spoke, you was a UK representative for Bove Lighting. Are you still there?
Potentially. I still do reviews and stuff for Bove Lighting in China. So they see me as like a UK representative advertiser type thing. But there actually is now a Bove Lighting UK, run by someone completely independent, who imports the kit, basically a load of the kit over here, and then sells it directly from a UK warehouse, offers the support, extra warranty, stuff like that over here in the UK. So he's kind of taken more of a role on that now as such. So I've not done as much. And as well, with Bove Lighting, I've always bought everything myself. Yeah. So it's not feasible as much to keep buying the kit all the time just to advertise it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Because I know that you helped me out earlier on in the week with a couple of new moving heads, some B-toppers, which I'm still waiting for them to arrive, to be fair. But I did watch a video on TikTok, and I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube as well. And for what I need, I think they're just going to be just right. So, I appreciate your help with that one in the week as well, Josh. Really do. Yeah, spot on. Now, unfortunately, Josh, we are running out of time, my friend. I just want to say a massive thank you for coming back on and hosting the Groove Junction with me this week. It's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. Always nice to meet you in person as well. We wish you all the best for the next year. Will you come back in a year's time and tell us how you're getting on?
Yeah, definitely. I love coming back on here.
We'll still be here in a year's time, I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I can't believe
Josh,
it.
I know, it's been over a year. It's amazing.
It's episode 63.
This is episode 60, yeah. And Josh, watching your story, I mean, the first time we met was at the BPM show up in Solihull with your dad, the first time we ever met each other. And that was about 3 or 4 years ago now.
It's insane.
And I've watched your journey from then. I've watched you on your TikToks and everything. And you're a very bright young man. And I honestly can see you going so far with your business. You've done so well up to now. And you've always offered help to people that have asked for it as well. I've seen you in the chats on the different forums that were there. You give an honest opinion and an honest review of the equipment that you've got and everything. So yeah, I mean, from all of us here at the Groove Junction, we wish you the best for the next year. Come back and let us know how you're getting on. And again, thank you. Oh, you know what? close the show out with me, Josh. I don't want to say goodbye to you because I've had such a great chat with you. We're going to close the show out, all right? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll close the show out right after this break. Kind of got ahead of myself there. Right, let's, how long we got? Oh, literally 2 minutes, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
We're just going to, what I want to do is just do a wrap up of what you're going to do what you got coming up this weekend. Yeah, you happy with that?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Brilliant. Welcome back. Josh, you come back again. No, I like that.
Still there.
Now, this is Josh again. You know, we are slowly but surely running out of time. Very quickly, Josh, what have you got coming up this week?
Well, in terms of everything, university all week, I've got a Halloween school disco on Wednesday. I've got a Halloween family disco Friday evening. Oh, and football coaching on Thursday evening. Saturday, I've got a children's party in the evening, teenage party, and then Sunday morning football again. And then that's kind of it for this weekend. This weekend.
Mate, that's enough, mate. That is enough. Oh, well,
how about you?
I can't believe how much you got going on. That's crazy. I mean, I'm quite lucky. It's not as busy. This week's not as busy. I mean, I've got Wednesday, Halloween party, four discos for the same school, all back to back. That's a bit of a tiring one. Yeah, it's a hard one, that one.
Yeah.
Then I've got another school disco Halloween theme. That's 2 back to back. And then I've got a silent disco at St. Albans Cathedral where we've got a triple decades night, 80s, 90s and noughties. And I'm doing the Red Channel, which is the 80s decade. So looking forward to that. And then that's Friday. Saturday, I'm going into London. I'm doing a bit of R&R in London.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but then I'm kind of not looking forward to it because I know I'm going to buy something that I don't actually need because I normally do. But then I like people watching in Leicester Square, to be fair. So, but that's another story, my friend. Now, listen, guys, thank you ever so much for joining us. Josh, thank you for co-hosting the Groove Junction this week, and it's been amazing having you here. Thank you ever so much. Now, listen, guys, as you know, the new episode drops every Friday, 10 a.m. on all your major podcast providers. You can also watch us on Spotify and YouTube as well. If you want any information about Josh, check out the comments underneath. All the links to his bios and his TikToks and all of that, they're all down there. If you want to come onto the Groove Junction and co-host with me, like Josh has tonight, please drop me a DM. Let me know, and we will see what we can do about getting you on the Groove Junction. Now, as I always say, Josh, be safe, be lucky. Until the next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.